I'm from Louisiana. 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 I'm from Louisiana.
A community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. It can also be viewed as a fellowship with others as a result of sharing common goals, attitudes, and interests. The size of a community may vary depending on the population and its available resources. Over time, the ideals and values of communities change in order to remain relevant with the changes in society. The windshield assessment provided the opportunity to gain an idea of what we presume the community to be, while interviews with community leaders and citizens provided us with a better insight about the community and its resources, its culture and history, and the current trends and future dynamics of the city. Old Gretna is the downtown historical district of Gretna, Louisiana. It is located on the west bank of the mighty Mississippi River and is a member of Jefferson Parish. Old Gretna boasts a close-knit community that cherishes and preserves its rich history grounded in both German and French ancestry. We traveled around in 2 cars to conduct a windshield assessment. We drove through residential neighborhoods, stopped in some of the many locally owned small businesses, and spoke with the community members.
Finally transferred to Nicholas Destrehan in 1833 through the Spanish governor Esteban Miro. Destrehan family, specifically Jean-Baptiste Destrehan, a local plantation owner, was said to have hired the German immigrants to extend and widen his canal, currently known as the Ave Canal, that was completed in 1741. In return for their labor, the immigrants were reportedly given a small plot in the area, which later became known as Mechanic-Ham. In 1836, Noah Destrehan commissioned Benjamin Boysen to draw a plan for the settlements of Mechanic-Ham that eventually grew into the city of Gretna. The city of Gretna, Louisiana, was named after Gretna, Dumfriesshire, Scotland, a tiny village near the English border, popular for fishing resort. Old Gretna is bordered on the south by the West Bank Expressway, Mississippi River to the north, Franklin and DeLoyne on the northeast and west, respectively. Between 1946 and 1950, after World War II, Gretna was transformed by commercial and industrial development and growth, enhanced by the construction of the West Bank Expressway and the Crescent City Connection Bridge between the city of Gretna and the city of New Orleans. In 1958, the city of Gretna has devised a way to keep its past alive through preservation of landmark structures and monuments that are very prominent in today's Gretna. For example, the city of Gretna is a home to one and only functioning volunteer fire company in the nation, the David Crockett Fire Corps No. 1, that was incorporated on May 7, 1844. David Crockett Fire Corps serves as a tourist destination attraction rather than firefighting today, but is still very active in performing blacksmithing trainings and wedding ceremony, and is located conveniently at the intersection Lafayette and 3rd Street. Notable in Old Gretna today is the Heritage House Welcome Center, the Gretna Farmers Market, and the German-American Cultural Museum located at 519 Iwo Long Avenue, which interprets the unique German immigrants' contribution to Louisiana history through exhibits, lecture programs, and other educational activities. Other prominent fixtures that define the uniqueness of Gretna include the Gretna Ferry House, Hook and McDonaldville cemeteries, and Jefferson Memorial Arch, built in 1923. It stands tall in front of the Gretna City Hall today, that was also erected in 1907, and they both stand on either side of 2nd Street and Iwo Long Avenue. They are all part of the historic downtown Gretna located within the confines of Amelia Street, the 10th Street, and the Riverview Park and Gulf Drive. We recently formulated goals of Gretna 2020 to promote tourism and economic development in the city of Gretna. The current population of Old Gretna is predominantly middle-aged Caucasian, with most of the citizens interviewed identifying their city as a quiet and friendly neighborhood that promotes opportunity for all. Thank you.
Gretna has its own water production facility that produces an average of 2.5 million gallons of drinking water a day to over 6,000 customers. The water plant has been in operation for over 70 years, producing potable water that meets strict federal, state, and local regulations. State-certified environmental operators operate this plant. Residents in the 70053 zip code may report water problems such as leaks, low pressure, and main breaks via telephone. The city publishes water quality notices and annual reports on their official website. The City of Gretna contracts with Progressive Waste to pick up residential and commercial baggage, trash, and white goods for a fee. Garbage and trash pickup for all residences and businesses in Old Gretna assigned areas occur on Mondays and Thursdays between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. To keep residential areas looking nice, the city prohibits putting garbage cans out by the curb earlier than 4 o'clock p.m. on the day before collection. The city of Gretna does not provide curbside recycling pickups, but it does offer a drop-off location for recyclables near Gretna City Park. Old Gretna streets are kept very clean with very few potholes present. Parking in the downtown area of Old Gretna is scarce. Parking lots are available for an hourly rate, and street parking is also present, but drivers must pay a meter $3 for every 2 hours. The parking meters are new technology that do not require putting a ticket in the car windshield. The meters can be paid by credit card or coin, and drivers may simply enter their license plate numbers into the machines to be validated. There are several residential neighborhoods in Old Gretna which consist of mostly one-story homes. Some townhomes and one apartment complex is also available for rent. The homes are positioned very closely together and are older. Homes are both rented and owned by Gretna residents. The neighborhoods are generally definitively separated into rental and owned home sections, with the exception of Huey P. Long Avenue, which has a mix of newly redone large homes next to rundown trailers with unkempt yards. Homelessness is not rampant in Gretna, but where it does exist, it is largely due to a knowledge deficit of assistance programs such as Section 8 housing. For those lacking fixed, stable residence, there are a variety of homeless shelters in Gretna, including Grace House for Women and Waymaker.
The primary means of transportation in Old Gretna are automobiles, public transportation, and walking. The majority of people drive themselves or carpool to work in Gretna, but about 8% of residents take public transportation, walk, or bike to work. The average time it takes for one to get to work is approximately 24.6 minutes. There are sidewalks on both sides of the street for pedestrians, but no designated bike lanes exist in the streets. Several auto repair shops, such as Gregg Auto Repair on Huey P. Long Avenue and Fayard Auto Parts on West Bank Expressway, provide retail and services to car owners. The primary means of transportation in Old Gretna are automobiles, public transportation, and walking. The majority of people drive themselves or carpool to work in Gretna, but about 8% of residents take public transportation, walk, or bike to work. The average time it takes for one to get to work is approximately 24.6 minutes. There are sidewalks on both sides of the street for pedestrians, but no designated bike lanes exist in the streets. Several auto repair shops, such as Gregg Auto Repair on Huey P. Long Avenue and Fayard Auto Parts on West Bank Expressway, provide retail and services to car owners. The city of Gretna has its own police department whose headquarters are located in Old Gretna. The chief of police is Arthur Lawson, the deputy chief of police is Anthony Christiana, and the commander of patrol field operations is Captain Scott Vinson. The patrol division handles traffic violations and all calls, no matter what the service may be. The patrol division offers a sense of security to those who see them passing by. They are involved in the community and work by the philosophy of high visibility and proactive policing through officer-initiated activity. The Gretna Police Department's website serves as a resource to residents in regards to safety information. It also offers tips for hurricane threats as well as safety information for homes and businesses. Sperling's Best Places rates Gretna's current violent crime at 61 out of 100, with 1 being the lowest crime and 100 being the highest. This rating takes into account the crimes of murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Gretna's violent crime rating is well above the U.S. average, which is at 41.4. Using the same scale, Gretna is rated 53 for property crimes such as burglary, motor vehicle theft, and arson. Again, they are rated above the national average, which is 43.5 for property crime. The David Crockett Steam Fire Company is located in Old Gretna. It is the largest continuously active volunteer fire department in the country. It is contracted and funded by the city of Gretna. The department consists of 18 paid and 138 volunteer firefighters. Over the last 5 years, they have seen a steady decline in the number of calls received. In 2010 and 2011, they received roughly 300 calls each. In 2014, the department only responded to about 103 calls. These firefighters are not trained in any medical capacity, so they only answer to strictly fire calls. The call rates might go up if the firemen were also trained as first responders.
Gretna belongs to the Jefferson Parish of the state of Louisiana under the postal code 70053. It is the second largest city and governing seat of Jefferson Parish. Gretna's government and policies operate under the Larson Act, a state revised statute that provides for the governing and operation of the incorporated municipality into a city, town, or village. Larson Act also provides for classification of duties, powers, and selection of officials either by election or appointment, and it provides for levying and collection of taxes and expenditure of funds. The seat of government of Gretna is located in the City Hall situated at 740 2nd Street in the Old Gretna neighborhood. The government function is controlled within the administrative department that is headed by the elected mayor. The current mayor is Constant Belinda, whose functions include budget management, intergovernmental relations, standards and purchasing control, information technology services, and resources and business management. Other important departments under the control of mayor include the police and fire departments, health and hospital departments, public utility and work departments, and zoning and codes regulation departments. The Gretna elected officials represents the diversity of the population, predominantly Caucasian with specific duties. For example, the mayor pro tem and councilman at large is Wayne A. Rao, and his job is to oversee the affairs of the city and to advocate on behalf of the citizens of Old Gretna. Other council members are elected according to their districts and population. Their current focus is summed up under a common goal, Gretna 2020, which emphasizes the economic development for the entire citizenry.
Education for residents of Old Gretna is available through several academic programs under Jefferson Parish. The public schools in Old Gretna fall under the Jefferson Parish Public School System. These include charter schools, magnet schools, and advanced study academies. According to the JPPSS website, their goal is to increase student achievement through the provision of systemic, innovative curricula characterized by standards and research-based programs and instructional resources that teachers can utilize to deliver effective and differentiated instruction. The JPPSS has a Department of Advanced Study Academies that oversees public schools in the district that operate under a higher academic rigor than the standard schools. In order to attend an advanced study academy, a student must meet certain admission requirements that differ by age. 2 advanced study academies are located in Old Gretna. Gretna No. 2 Academy for Advanced Studies is a school for elementary age students. The school goes from pre-kindergarten through 5th grade. L.W. Ruppel Academy for Advanced Studies is an advanced middle school for students in grades 6th through 8th. According to the Office Secretary Regina Smith, Gretna No. 2 currently has 375 students enrolled. The school offers bus transportation for the students as well. Gretna No. 2's admission criteria differs based on the child's age. Children in grades pre-kindergarten through 1st grade must only have a copy of their birth certificate and proof of residency in Jefferson Parish to be able to take the entrance test. For children in grades 2nd through 5th, they must have a copy of their birth certificate, proof of residency in Jefferson Parish, and a copy of their most recent report card. If the child meets all of these requirements, they then are eligible to take the entrance test. For all grade levels, a score of 85% or higher is required on the entrance test in order to be accepted into the school. L.W. Ruppel has a total of 275 students with an ethnic breakdown of 119 Caucasian students, 86 African American students, 39 Asian students, 26 Hispanic students, 1 American Indian student, 1 Native Hawaiian student, and 3 students of 2 or more ethnicities. The admission criteria for L.W. Ruppel includes proof of residency in Jefferson Parish, as well as final report cards for the last 2 years with no grades lower than a C. If a child meets both of these criteria, then he or she is eligible to take the entrance test and must score an 85% or higher in order to gain entrance into the school. Advanced study academies are designed to expose capable students to a more challenging and accelerated program. All of the advanced study academies in Jefferson Parish have a 100% passing rate of students moving on to the next level. According to the JPPSS website, students who gain entrance into an advanced study academic program are challenged with opportunities in abstract thinking, problem solving, and the use of higher order thinking skills, and these students are working at a level at least 1 grade higher than other students their age. For students who are not accepted into the advanced study programs, there are a few other options. Specifically located in Old Gretna are 2 public schools, William Hart and McDonough No. 26. St. Anthony, a private Catholic school, is also located in Old Gretna. According to the organization Great Schools, these schools have a much lower rating in educational opportunity and performance than the advanced study academic schools, leaving a great disparity in the educational opportunities available to these students.
The City of Gretna has a thriving Parks and Recreation Department that provides activities for both adults and children. The Parks and Recreation Department offers youth athletic programs for children ages 5 to 17 who are interested in a variety of sports such as soccer, baseball, football, volleyball, cheerleading, basketball, and track and field. Each of these sports practice and compete at Mel Ott Park. Adults may also stay active by taking yoga or line dance classes at Mel Ott Recreation Center. Gretna is also home to the only BMX biking track in the greater New Orleans area. For those interested in astronomy, Gretna has an observatory open to the public on Monday and Wednesday evenings. Unfortunately for residents of Old Gretna, most of these activities take place in Mel Ott Park, which is on the other side of West Bank Expressway. This is an inconvenience and requires transportation to make use of the recreation that the city offers. City officials noticed the need for more accessible recreation for Old Gretna residents and built the Gretna Green Playground in the Downtown Historic District in 2013. This $125,000 project created much-needed green space and now provides the children of Old Gretna a convenient and safe playground. Entertainment is not only located in the parks of Gretna. A local farmers market occurs every weekend in Old Gretna, rain or shine. This provides fresh, locally sourced produce to residents as well as entertainment. Local musicians and artisans attend and display their crafts. The new Gretna Cultural Center for the Arts is located in Old Gretna in the former downtown post office. Residents are cast in the plays, and others attend to watch their neighbors and friends perform. For Old Gretna's older residents, Gretna Senior and Wellness Center is located on Franklin Avenue and open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's open to all seniors in the community and offers a variety of social, recreational, and educational programs. Some of the programs they offer include art and music classes, computer classes, jewelry making and crocheting classes, and beanbag baseball. The center also provides health education to senior citizens with blood pressure screenings and education on health issues that affect older adults, such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes. The Senior Center is run by the Jefferson Parish Council on Aging, the City of Gretna, and People's Health. Membership is free to Jefferson Parish residents 60 years and older. The Senior Center also provides hot meals to seniors at no charge. It is a place where senior citizens can go during the day to keep busy, enjoy time with friends, have fun, and learn something new.
Old Gretna is a historic town that has been revived and the old buildings have been preserved. There are many locally owned businesses like Old Gretna Pharmacy, Common Grounds Coffee House, Neeb's Hardware, and Wooden Things. There was recently a new neighborhood Walmart that opened in the community and excited many of the locals. There are a few chain fast food restaurants like Dairy Queen, McDonald's, and Popeyes. Some of the largest employed businesses in Old Gretna include Acme Trucking, Versa Integrity Group, City of Gretna Government Jobs, and Zatarain's. Acme Trucking employs over 3,000 people, and Zatarain's employs over 200 in the city of Gretna. This community is one of historical significance, and many locals take pride in having their roots ground in Old Gretna. Gretna Economic Development Association creates a bridge between the community, state, and federal governments that helps identify economic problems and solutions. Gretna Economic Development Association meets monthly and helps create businesses within Gretna, facilitates new developments in businesses, promotes tourism, helps create affordable housing, preserves historical landmarks, and deals with upkeep of parks and such. Examples of their associated projects are Cancer, Relay for Life, Gretna Farmers Market, Night Out Against Crime, and Potty Gras Program. Income taxes in Old Gretna are at 4%, while in the United States it is higher at 4.72%. Sales taxes are at 8.75%, while the U.S. is at 6%. Recent job growth was recorded to be 2.03%, while the U.S. is at 1.18%.
Future job growth is predicted to be 40.10% compared to U.S.'s predicted value of 36.10%. The family median income on Sperling's Best Places was recorded to be at $44,144, while in the United States it was $64,585. This highlights that Old Gretna is behind the national percentages as a whole. Their median household income is much lower than their national average, which may raise some worry for the city of Old Gretna. The largest employer in Old Gretna is Acme Trucking, employing 3,150 people. Another business that thrives in the community is Zatarain's, which employs 220 people in the Gretna area. The Versa Integrity Group employs 310 people. The city of Gretna employs a total of 249 people in government positions. Acme Truck Line, Inc. had a 2014 revenue of $487 million, with a top private company regional rank in the New Orleans metropolitan area at number 7 out of 20 listed in the New Orleans City Business Magazine. This is a major private company that brings in a significant amount of revenue for the Old Gretna area. There are a few events that bring revenue into Old Gretna. The farmers market is every Saturday and allows the locals to get fresh vegetables and fruits. Tourists come into Old Gretna and may visit Gretna Green Blacksmith Shop, Gretna Historical Society Museum and Fire Museum, St. Joseph's Church and Gardens, German American Cultural Center, and Gretna City Hall. There is a new Gretna Cultural Center for the Arts. It was the former downtown post office that casts plays with local people taking on the acting roles. The Women is a classic comedy beginning in February, casting 40 local actresses in Old Gretna. All these events bring interest into this small community and therefore help bring in more revenue to the local shops and restaurants, buildings, and economy as a whole.
The main source of communication in the town of Old Gretna is by word of mouth. Residents also have access to the local New Orleans news stations, radio stations, and other various internet sources specific to the Old Gretna community. Old Gretna residents also have access to the City of Gretna's website. The residents of Old Gretna are able to keep up to date with the latest information by following these sources. The City of Gretna provides a website that anyone can view and learn more about the city. Residents can also use this website as a useful resource for news and upcoming events. The website is updated regularly and includes sections such as an events calendar, council business, Gretna tourism, farmers market, utility payments, recent news, and parks and recreation. The website allows residents to pay their utility bills and court fees online. The city council section of the website has all of the members' names and contact information available to the residents. Residents who have comments or concerns about the city can contact council members at any time. Also online, there is a Facebook group for Old Gretna residents. It is a private group and one needs to be a resident of Gretna to join the page. The Facebook group provides a forum for members to communicate with each other and their city officials in a conversational way. There are also pictures from local events from the past and present. Many residents gather at the local coffee shop to discuss what is going on in the town. Common Grounds is a small local coffee shop located in the center of Old Gretna. It is the only coffee shop in Old Gretna. Many residents gather a few times each week and enjoy breakfast and coffee while keeping each other updated with the current events happening in the city. Flyers and bulletins advertising local events are posted throughout the coffee shop. There are also many local news websites as well as local newspapers that Old Gretna residents can access. NOLA.com is a website that has news for the greater New Orleans area. The Times-Picayune is now part of NOLA.com, where the site provides information on the same issues. Another website is the NewOrleansAdvocate.com, which is similar to NOLA.com. It provides news, weather, sports, and daily crime reports. The New Orleans Advocate, along with the Times-Picayune, also have printed newspapers. Residents have an option to have the newspaper delivered for a fee Monday through Friday with an additional weekend add-on. There is also an online subscription option where the residents can pay to have access to their paper online only.
Old Gretna does not have a local paper specific to the community of Old Gretna, but the above paper covers the greater New Orleans area, which includes Old Gretna.
Healthcare access is a key component of maintaining a healthy community. This is most important when establishing healthcare for the family, which is the primary functioning unit of a community. Besides the hospitals that are located on the outliers of Gretna, there are small private-owned healthcare resources within Old Gretna, such as a pharmacy, internal medicine clinic, and dental office. It is essential that communities have healthcare access in order to maintain specific healthcare parameters that pertains to particular populations within the community. For example, women's health resources such as prenatal care is a vital component of meeting growth and development parameters during the prenatal and postnatal periods. Within the community, there is a Crisis Pregnancy Center, which is a non-profit Christian organization that provides services to women who lack the financial resources for prenatal care or who may be experiencing an unplanned pregnancy. The center provides basic prenatal screenings such as abdominal ultrasounds and both blood and urine tests. The center also provides prenatal education classes that include breastfeeding and infant care techniques, as well as counseling for those who may be overwhelmed with the pregnancy or who may have experienced a fetal demise or abortion. All information and resources are readily available in both English and Spanish translations. The Women, Infant, and Children Program, or WIC, is another resource that is readily available for those who qualify for the program. Some local grocery stores, as well as the newly built Walmart, are WIC participants.
The windshield assessment, interviews with local residents, and secondary data analysis were used to determine the needs of the Old Gretna community. The lack of available quality education is a main concern to the community, along with the lack of knowledge about the healthcare resources available in their community. One of Old Gretna's positive characteristics is its thriving, close-knit community and the community interest and heritage. Our first nursing diagnosis is deficient education system related to lack of accessible quality education as evidenced by low-quality public schools and high testing requirements for advanced academy acceptance. Our interventions are as followed. Assess residents for awareness and perception of the problem. Advocate for allocation of city funds for curriculum improvement in public schools, incentives for English and secondary language teachers in communities with non-English speaking students, and after-school tutoring programs. Provide resources to students who are seeking educational opportunities outside of the public schools. This will include tutoring programs for those interested in testing for the Advanced Study Academies and education on scholarship opportunities for those interested in St. Anthony Catholic School. Our second nursing diagnosis is knowledge deficit about healthcare resources readily available within the community related to a deficiency in advertisement of resources, as evidenced by the Pregnancy Crisis Center director stating, "We have been here for 10 years and no one really knows about us," and the local pharmacy director stating, "We fill less than 100 prescriptions per day." Our interventions are as follows. Assess the local community's knowledge about local healthcare resources. Make the community more aware by advertisements and organizing a local health fair. Employ a nurse navigator for the city to make the complicated more understandable and the overall healthcare experience more patient-centered. Although there are healthcare resources located on the outliers of Old Gretna, many citizens are unaware of the available resources that are established within the inner community of the city, such as the Crisis Pregnancy Center, local WIC program, and other local clinics. The goal is to promote health-related qualities of life and well-being. Our third nursing diagnosis is community connectedness related to successfully locally owned small businesses, participation in social groups, and community interest and heritage, as evidenced by the City of Old Gretna's thriving, close-knit community. Our interventions are to assess citizens' feelings about recent changes in community events, such as the cancellation of all parades in Old Gretna. Promote continued use of resources in the community, such as locally owned restaurants, the local pharmacy, the farmers market, supporting the David Crockett Fire Department, visiting the German Cultural Museum, and the Gretna Historical Society Museum, and continuing the tradition of local Mardi Gras parades running in Old Gretna. Also, educate the younger population of Old Gretna to encourage further participation in community programs and events such as the German Cultural Society, Gretna Historical Society, the local museums, and the local parades so the sense of pride in this community is not lost. The goal is to preserve and sustain its heritage while enhancing the current community-oriented lifestyle Old Gretna's citizens lead.
Before going out into the community of Old Gretna, our group spoke about what we expected in the community. We stereotyped Old Gretna as being run down and considered it as just being part of the West Bank. The windshield assessment welcomed a new opinion of Old Gretna that we did not anticipate receiving. The area was of historical significance and had a quaint, quiet family feel about it. The streets were nice and the neighborhoods displayed pride in their community. The local businesses are probably what attracted people of this parish the most. Our group drove out in 2 vehicles for the windshield assessment, and we rode in the same direction in the beginning, visiting the firehouse, local pharmacy, and the new neighborhood Walmart. We eventually decided to separate and meet back up later to cover more ground. Both groups were pleasantly surprised when visiting the museums, the prison, courthouse, and outside on the levee. We ate at the River Shack, close to the levee, where some of us met government officials. Everyone was welcoming and greeted our group with warm smiles. The community surprised us with its friendly, family-oriented atmosphere and Southern hospitality. The next Friday for our community assessment, we visited more local shops and got more opinions from the locals about the community. Visiting the St. Joseph Church that day allowed us to get a local's opinion of the community. Mary Alford, a parishioner of St. Joseph, said Old Gretna has lots of families and locals that have been born here and have never left here. She had a positive perception of Old Gretna and loved being a part of such a close-knit community. As a group, we met at Common Grounds, a local coffee shop where many locals gather to drink coffee, eat breakfast, and catch up on the local gossip going around. It was a warm, welcoming place where locals sold their artwork, displayed all over the walls, and where local bands could play in the evenings. Each person in our group took on different roles to cover all areas of the process. Some took on writing and putting together the paper, making a movie of the community assessment, and others did certain sections of each aspect. Each member worked together on Fridays, throwing ideas off each other and checking things off our to-do list. At times, some people would get annoyed with each other and not want to do something another member may have wanted to do, but in the end, we worked it out appropriately. Overall, we felt satisfied with our achievements in our community assessment of Old Gretna.